Where have you all gone in this instance? You have made a decision. You are all going to go your separate ways to take care of what you have agreed upon in the previous session. So let's start with. I think Daxan sounds like the most reasonable because we definitely know where Daxan is headed at this point.
All right. Yeah. So, as I recall in the last episode, we had located the nearest Medicaid facility, and Daxan had ended the session by lifting Inquisitor Adriel Quist over his shoulder and taking the injured Lord General Castus Acton under his other arm, and not unlike ragdolls or young children, he's currently sprinting towards the Medicaid facility. I figure going full tilt. That Space Marine is a truck, and you don't want to be a pedestrian on this road kind of vibe. So,
okay.
Yeah. So he's racing there as quickly as he can.
Let's get an agility test to start us off.
Sick. All right, agility test.
This is going to be routine, so plus 10.
Gotcha.
Don't stop me now.
All right, 2.6 degrees of success, my friend.
Ball.
Yeah, so whatever people might be in the way, they can hear the thud and clank of power armor down the hall, and they get clear out of dodge long before you make meat crayons out of them. As you pass down the hallway, you make your way to an elevator, very rapidly thumbing in the floor that you've already had pulled up for the Medicaid facility, and when the elevator ding opens up once more, just like again, the facility is ready to receive you. I assume you sent word on your way down there that you were coming, and they have a couple of hospital beds standing by. Bless you. One of which is kind of out in like a side area, and then the other, which is like its literal own suite. They tell you to put the Lord General, or they'll take the Lord General from you to put him in the side area, and let you take the Inquisitor. They are not going to try to take an Inquisitor from you into the suite.
Okay. I'm pretty sure Daxan would surrender the Lord Governor, but then would immediately point to whoever the chief chirurgeon would be there and would say, "This one is not to be released without my direct say. You are not to bring him to consciousness without my observation. Is that understood?"
They absolutely are not going to argue with the Space Marine. So, absolutely.
I had a feeling. If Dr. Cox was a 14-foot tall mutant of death. He then turns and pounds into the separate suite and grabs literally the first two surgeons and other personnel he can see, an anesthesiologist, someone who might be familiar with biochemistry, and just basically points to them like, "You're coming with me now," and gets the Inquisitor on the table, and we're going to try to stabilize her, and they're going to be, whether they like it or not, the equivalent of my medical servitors. Unfortunately, less obedient probably, but I figure being under my watch, they know to do their jobs.
Very good. Okay, so let's get a Medicaid roll. So with the facilities bonus, you're going to be getting a plus 10 on top of all your additional bonuses that you have. This is going to be a minus...
So looking at the...
I'm going to say 20 check. You've done the hardest part now, but trying to, keep her from immediately dying, I mean. Now it is trying to get her okay for the long run.
That's perfectly fair. Okay, so acquiring the full list of all the things I gotta deal with. So he has his Narcithium and Reductor don't do anything to a human except, store poisons and toxins and chemicals, which I do have a couple of powerful stimulants. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's the one that wakes you up.
Right, but here's the thing: Space Marine physiology is not the same as mortal physiology, and if you try to give them a stimulant,
I know
give
that's
them even just a slightly too high dose, their heart's going to explode.
Right. Right. No, I know.
Me after a Red
It's I'm just taking inventory of my assets. I know if I use anything on the Narcithium, I'm gonna have to be. It'll be the equivalent of giving like medicine to a baby that's meant for an adult. Like you need to really be super careful with it and follow the exact instructions as prescribed. So he's gonna be super careful with that. If he does, he prefer not to. He has the helm, which, as I recall, the helm gives him a. Taking a look to make sure. Affinity Publisher, please be kind and
It's the Diagnoster helm, right?
Thank
I
you.
believe it's a plus
I
10.
believe it's a plus. Yes, the Diagnoster. Thank you. So plus 10, plus 10. So we're just a flat. We're at the flat dice.
No, I think you're still a plus 10 for the Medicaid facility.
No, the plus 10 for the
that
Medicaid
was the
facility.
First plus 10.
The plus 10 for the helm, and yeah, and then you have the minus 20. So
Okay.
it evens out to whatever my roll is. So. With McKay, I'm currently sitting at a glorious trained, so this should work. Hope. So, dead even roll. I'm going to re-roll the fuck out of that. That is a
Hold off on
mystery
that
success. I do not like that.
Ooh, okay, or not.
Ooh, 4.4 degrees of success. That is more like it.
Very good.
So, yeah, that whew, I needed that. So yeah, I figured that Daxon would immediately get her on the table and begin likely running some form of dialysis on her, as well as also as he's doing that and making sure that the chirurgeons and the other medical technicians are in the process of doing that, with the very clear understanding that if any of them fuck up, her life is theirs. If she dies, they all die. Just to make that abundantly clear, because he can't trust people on this planet at the moment, and unfortunately, he needs their assistance. So their lives are forfeit if they screw
Give me a
up.
fellowship roll.
Sure thing. So fellowship roll.
Say that, chap. I'll blow your fucking head out over this medical bay if you mess up.
See how your bedside manner is.
I will literally kill you. Would that not be an intimidate, or would that be?
Yeah, intimidate's good.
Let me see how your bedside manner is. Can I roll intimidate? Jesus fucking Christ, we're playing Space Marine.
What the fuck?
Yeah. That is a success, but no extra degrees. It's just like on the dot.
Iron Bug. Come on, man. Useful fuel injection systems and catering.
Oh, I got you.
Is that one of your students?
The Teledyne Continental versus the RSA, it's just different manufacturers if you're asking for a difference in functionality. I believe that the Teledyne has a redundancy on the bottom, whereas the RSA does not, but I could be mistaken. You might double check your notes on that one. I put the slides up on Teams.
You truly never stop being a teacher.
Sorry, folks.
No, that's really funny.
That is.
No,
That's
it's
amazing.
okay. I genuinely was like, oh, do I need to ban this guy? And then I
Yeah,
read
I
it,
did
I'm
too.
like,
I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, okay. I got it.
yeah, no. You got off easy this
Yeah,
time,
it's
Iron
funny.
Bug.
Fair enough, bud. Fair enough. Yeah, I would just review the slides because my head is not on airplanes right now. My head is on Death Watch, which we were saying. That makes me feel good.
So a base success, but no additional degrees, like 0.3.
They are sufficiently perturbed by your presence, your demeanor, and the fact that you could squish them with a flex of your wrist. And for the time being, you are positive they're not going to do anything to act against you, at least for now, if they are so inclined to act against.
Roger that. All right, that's all I need. As long as they're doing it, I'm good. So yeah, as he has them running dialysis, he would be using his Diagnoster helm, the Narcithium, or whatever technology they might have there to isolate the chemical, which he already has a sample of since he saved the gloves from the Lord General, which has the contact poison on it. So he's doing his best to isolate the toxin, and to find some sort of antitoxin you can run, some kind of counter agent that works, or failing that, some mechanism of attack that'll destroy it or disable it.
Okay.
And he is full head in book right now. He's basically pulling a house at the moment, trying to
Yeah,
save.
so this one is going to be an extended check for sure.
Okay.
And I feel like Medicaid is probably the one to go to. I'm just taking a look at your skills to see if there's something else. I think it's going to be Medicaid. Yeah, so you can give us the first of those checks now, and then we're going to pivot to somebody else. We'll check back in with you later after we see the result of it.
Okay. Does that include the 4.4 success Medicaid roll that I made just now?
That was to stabilize her.
Or
Now
is it
you're
different
trying to formulate a counter agent to bring her back
Gotcha.
faster.
Okay, so she's stable at the
Yeah.
moment. This is for the counter agent. Okay. All right, let's do it. Medicaid. So we have the facility plus 10. We have my diagnoster plus 10. Is there any other modifiers I need to be aware of for this?
Nah.
Okay, so this is a plus 20 mod. 7.2 degrees of success.
Whoa! Holy shit!
Ooh.
That is.
Daxan is made to be a doctor first. The fact that he carries a bolter, almost incidental, really.
Okay. You finish it incredibly quickly. So we're going to pivot to someone else, and then at a certain time that I feel is appropriate, I'm going to chime in asking Omni to speak up. Okay?
Sounds good.
Who would like to take the next scene?
We could roll for it.
Roll initiative.
I can tell you right now that Dietrich is only going to follow Helicoprion's orders, so he will do what Helicoprion tells him to.
Well, Sugan has yet to be given direct orders, so Sugan's just kind of acting on his own volition right now.
He did sort of volunteer to assist Facilia.
Yeah, but the whole idea of like you being like a regular looking person and me being a meat behemoth, like it kind of contrasts each other.
That's
So
fair.
I'm gonna go do my own thing and you're gonna go do your own thing.
Yeah, but you're missing out on an opportunity for good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, that's true.
In like a really super weird way.
Because you're gonna be the good cop, so you're gonna be the bad cop.
I would be the good cop.
Right up until there's Elgari children involved.
Oh
Thank you,
god.
Chris.
They've got
Then
the
there's bad
knife.
cop. Then there's bad cop flamethrower.
Bad cop, melt of cop.
Get their flamer. The heavy flamer.
Also, Soul, thank you very much for the gift sub, man. Much appreciated, dude.
Hey, I figure someone comes in and like they ask a question. You got to get paid for that somehow.
I
Yeah.
You are
Thank
such
you
a
for
good
the
friend.
checks, Neris.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Buddy.
I actually prepared me this time.
So Sugin and Hercilia, you guys are going off to do your own thing first, is what I'm getting.
Yeah, I was never given orders, and Sugan's just like, "What do I do?" And Helicoprion's like, "I'm like, okay." So I'm doing my own thing now. Sugan's going on a bit of an investigation, as it were.
Okay. You exit the suite while Helicoprion is making Dietrich and Hercilia ready for the next stage of your plans. Where do you go?
Okay, so I think I kind of want to start with a science check to see if I can sort of pick up. Since I saw that vision of him poisoning the container, as it were, I want to see if I can kind of follow that lead. So could I make a science check?
Yeah.
Because there's obviously some warp presence there, so it's just like I could see if I could get a lead on that. Is there going to be a modifier to this?
You've made one successful check on it so far, so I'll give you a plus 10. And I'm going to say it's probably going to max at that.
That's fine by me. Hey, I rolled a success for once.
Off to a good start. Okay, very good. So you leave the room and begin trying to follow some kind of metaphysical trail. And where you see it leads you is to an elevator down and down to the base of Primaris Citadel. You follow this trail, as it were, outside, and then things become significantly more complicated. The cross lines of people here and there, hundreds of thousands of people moving in and out of the Primaris Citadel on the daily basis. Thank you, Elise. Appreciate it. I'm gonna need another one.
Sure. Still plus 10 or?
For now.
Cool. As big as I can get. Oh, that's just a hair off too. I did get a reroll from Natisha earlier, so I'm gonna use that.
That's true. You did.
Thank you, Natisha. Oh, god damn it!
No.
Now we're back to normal.
It's the Emperor's fault.
Heresy.
Heresy.
I blame the Emperor.
It's because
10,000
he doesn't
every day.
want you to find it yet. That's what it is.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I see what you're doing, man. He's just like talking to himself. No, Sugan's like, Sugan is like, he's a bit like a dog, in the way that he's like, he can be playful, fun, and stuff like that. But like when he gets down to like the hunting side of things, he's like all business. And right now he's on the hunt, so he's just like full pointer dog, like just following whatever is leading him and on this failure. I don't know what comes of this failure.
So I'll say this: you begin searching around the area. You can feel it pulling you left, and so you walk left, and then you can feel it jerking you straight over to the right, and so you head that direction, and it just feels like you're walking in circles. And after like maybe 10 to 15 minutes of trying to focus, but finding it really difficult with the presence of so many other people around, especially people that, you know, you like people, but these are rough and tumble, like, soldier types that are, their whole lives are disciplined. They're not exactly the most personable people all the time, especially not if they're seeing a space marine. So their unease, their transhuman dread that they are feeling from seeing you walk around, you are getting that psionic imprint kind of overloading your own psionisance abilities. And it's about this time that a maybe like 12-year-old kid wearing quite fine garments, looking a little bit like a classic Roman attire, but with like, you know, full coverings on the shoulders because Karlak's a little bit chilly, little bit long trailing cloak behind them. Excuse me, Mr. Angel.
He's gonna like, oh, hello. He look down and see this child and he like take a knee.
I was told to find one of you.
Oh, well, you have found me, my friend. What is it can I do for you?
He hands over this.
Ah. Esteemed warriors of the God Emperor. This is how Sugan actually talks. He just puts on the accent. You would do me a great honor if you would meet with me at the summit of this magnificent imperial castle. I know that men of your importance are always short on time. I promise you brevity and an unparalleled knowledge of the places, people, and history of this humble planet. Your faithful servant, Prince Prefect, I believe, Aloysius.
Aloysius.
I promise. Is that a year?
The
82?
82nd. Thank you, Dylan.
Yeah.
I had to look it up before before session. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, so you're gonna make me look like an idiot?
I should have given it to Soul because he would have definitely got it. I didn't know that Dylan knew his Roman numerals like that.
I couldn't read that shit.
That's fair.
I can hardly read cursive to begin with, but
I often curse reading. Mm.
Me too. And I wrote 2 books now.
If no one else got me, I know Omni got me. You're
And he's
muted, buddy. But yeah, so the kid.
Yes.
It's okay. You only do it when we're live.
Wow.
Damn.
It's all right. We still love you.
Definitely. You can see that the letter itself is stamped with a official seal bearing the not the inquisitorial rosette. What the fuck am I talking about? I'm blanking on the word. The imperial signet, and he says, "I was told to find one of the Emperor's angels."
Sergen's one of those people that he's like holding it really close to his face, and he's like reading it like best he can. You can kind of like hear him muttering under his breath as he's like reading it out loud to himself. It's clear he needs a pair of spectacles or something, and he's gonna very
Aren't you
daintily.
supposed to be the peak of physical perfection, but you need reading glasses?
His
Wait,
cornea got scorched in the furnace. It's okay.
Look, a
You
nocturne.
may not like it, but
My vision may not be 20/20, but my service to the Emperor is.
But my service to the Emperor is 100. That's how you should have finished that.
100.
And anyone who ever says Space Marines are the peak of human and physical perfection, might I introduce you to the entirety of the Cursed Founding?
But physical.
Let's not drag the
perfection,
Lamenters through the mud like that.
They don't need any more dragging than they already get. So
Do it themselves.
Sergen is going to take this missive and nod. You have found one of the Emperor's angels.
You're gonna help us out with. Well, there's a lot of. He looks like he wants to say something, but like he's been told specifically not to.
You can speak to me. Secrets are what I am good at keeping, yes?
You make a fellowship roll, please.
Yeah. I just smile this wicked smile, like I fail, and I like smile this wicked smile. My armor starts roaring really loudly.
I
Just
will also take charm.
charm.
charm if you have it.
I think I just have basic charm, so it's gonna be the same thing either way.
Okay.
I get a +5 to fellowship because I have my helmet off. So this will be +5. So I got to roll below a 50. I'm gonna use a fate point. Come on, please. I'm begging you. Yes. Okay.
There you go,
There we go.
buddy.
So you say, you can tell me, and he goes, well, it's the Sons of Tag, sir. They don't really much like the Imperium, and we've all been dreadfully worried they're going to do something drastic soon. The Prince
Sons of-
Prefect is too prideful to ask in a missive, but I'm sure when you meet him, that's what he'll ask you in person.
Can I make a lore check on the Sons of Tag?
Not really. It's specific to this planet. It's if you have like a confused look on your face, he would say, they're the previous noblemen, the knights of the world, before the Imperium came in to rule it. Quite upset with the new order.
Well, the Imperium is here to protect them. We are not here to take things away from them or make them angry. We are here to protect the common people of the Imperial regime.
Yes, sir, I truly believe it, sir. My own father, he fights in the Imperium's army. Fights for the Emperor, in the Atros salient. But my Prince Prefect, his previous noblemen and lords, they're quite upset with losing their status and nobility. They kept almost nothing, you see. They were made no better than their common men. And they did not like that very much.
I understand, but under the light of the Emperor, all are equal.
He looks up at you, looks down at himself, looks back up at you. Of course,
Oh.
sir.
All equal. Now, run along. And oh, wait a minute. I have a present for you to remember me. And he's gonna pull out a bolter out.
I knew that's where this was going.
He's Santa! I love it! He's
I got many
Green
gifts.
Santa.
Kill your
I love
enemies
it.
for me, child.
You're giving him a whole ass round or just a shell?
No, just a whole shell. Like,
Okay.
It's like, so, these things are the size of soda cans. Like, so, but here you go.
Wow. It's so hefty. What do I
You
do
see
with
what?
it?
You keep it on your shelf and you pray to the Emperor.
I'll make a carving of the Emperor out of it.
Be very careful with it. Make sure you beside the shell part, not the bottom. Hitting the bottom, it's the primer go boom, bad.
Oh, so you do give him a live round.
I guess I should probably give it a shell. I probably don't give it to him.
Nope, do it.
I mean, just go
gave
all
a
in.
bolter
Give him a
shell to a
Promethean
child.
tank. It'll be fine.
Take this. Help you on your journey.
Blessed Prometheum to warm your household. You will only to warm your household once. That's the rest of your life.
I was gonna ask if I could have, like, little trinkets and baubles that I could give out to children. I know it's retroactive, but soon's. If you allow me to act like gregarious, I mean, it's not like mechanically affect anything. I just figured he'd make little doodads for people to have.
Sure. You forge them. You forge little
Yes.
trinkets of the of whatever you feel is appropriate for them to remember the experience by.
I probably made like this figure type thing. That's it looks like an Imperial Guardsman, but has a little Aquila on it, and he has like you can like pose his arms, and Sugan hands it to him when it's like posed like that. Here you go.
Thank you, sir. Right. Was it a bolter round? Was it a live round or a spent shell casing? Because you keep saying it's the other. Like, you're like, yeah, it's this one. And then you're like, no, it's this one.
Okay. In complete fairness, there is no way in hell that a child, even if they fucking dropped it from a tower, could set off a shell like this. They're very specifically made to like go off on impact. Actually, how are bolters made? Do they have like a?
They're
are they-
guns. They're
Well, no,
just
bolter-
really big bullets. And then the bullet part explodes when it impacts.
They're gyrojet rounds, so you have an initial primer charge which launches the round out of the chamber, which then engages a small rocket motor which is built into it, launching the round at hypersonic velocity. It has an impact fuse so that when it hits, it has a small delay before exploding, meaning it explodes inside of people. There's
Yeah,
your
but it would have
rounds.
to. It would have to. It couldn't just fall off of a shelf and explode. Is the point I'm getting at?
I mean, it depends.
Depends
It
on
might
how
be
From
long.
what I understand, bolters are also like a lot of Imperial weapons, especially bolters, are a lot more intelligently. I shouldn't say intelligent. They're a lot smarter than they appear. Many of them have microcomputers, that kind of thing. A lot of them seem to be keyed to the firer's ID. So it's entirely possible the rounds might be inert until they're triggered by the firing Space Marine. But also, that was 10,000 years ago. Big question how long those practices have lasted. So,
True.
your call, Chief. You're handing out a can of C4 either way, whether it's inert or not. It is a can of C4.
Yeah, I'll give him a spent casing. That's probably a better idea than giving him a fucking live rat.
So,
It's going to turn into a mug.
Next, I'm gonna give him a crack grenade. If your father ever makes you mad.
Set this off under his bed. No problem.
It'll be
That's
very
off the
funny.
floor, sir. Okay.
Just remember to run.
So he takes the hollow shell. He's grateful and says, "We hope to see you soon, sir," and turns off back into the Primaris Citadel, walking back towards the elevator. I think at this point we will pivot over to Helicoprion.
So yeah, as far as I understand, we've got Helicoprion, Dietrich, and Hercilia, correct?
I think so.
And we are in possession right now of the local military garrison, essentially.
The Tempestus are waiting outside the door for you to tell them what exactly is happening. They just saw one of your number like sprinting out with their Lord General because you did have, I believe, Daxan, or was it Dietrich? It was Dietrich told them to go outside, right?
I told them to leave. Yeah.
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 I pointed a
I think I just kinda
pointed a
helped
chainsword
grease
as large as their body at them.
Yeah.
I think all Daxan did was grease the wheels of that process a little bit. Be like, hey, we don't all need to immediately start killing each other. And then Dietrich's like, but we can start, and they fucking ran.
Yeah. I think when Daxan like sprinted out the door, as it was like kind of swinging shut, you could see a couple of the Tempestus Scion like eyes like looking at you, kind of like through the crack as like on the other side of the hallway as the door is like closing.
So, how much trouble are these guys going to be for us in this situation? Like, what's my feel for the threat from them?
If you're asking if you got into a combat interaction with them, they're Tempestus Scions. They're some of the best trained Astra Militarum Regiment troopers available, and you would break them over your kneecap like they were made of Play-Doh.
I'm not worried about myself. I'm worried about like how much this would inconvenience me.
I
Politically
mean, that
speaking,
depends. Like, sorry, like that depends. Like, do you want them to be a problem for you? Because Dietrich is right here and he's ready to go.
politically speaking, it would not look good. It would really not look good. Already where you're at, even though your kindred are not really particularly great with people, you would still know what it looks like to walk into the Imperial Castle on a fortress world that is the linchpin of an entire crusade, incapacitate the Lord General of said castle and said world, and then slaughter his entire guards. Inquisition or not, that is going to cause a great deal of civil unrest. It is not going to be something that you can keep quiet. Already, it is going to be incredibly difficult to keep the Lord General's status quiet, given, he made it there incredibly quickly. People absolutely saw, and maybe most of them wouldn't have seen who it was that he was carrying, but at least one person would have, and who knows how tight their lips are.
Yeah, all it takes is one.
Yep.
So, here's Helicoprion's plan. Tell me if this is a dumb plan. Helicoprion plans to walk out, bold as brass, and tell them to stand down, not to disarm, but just to ease up on it. Or they can dishonor the Lord General further. Basically saying, I know you've got a lot riding on this, honor-wise and respect-wise. I can understand that. But if you do decide to take one step over the line, not only will you die, but you're going to bring a lot of shame down on your Lord General. So how about we not?
I would say take a +20 to that fellowship roll.
All right. Can I use command, considering I'm a fucking dope? Let's go.
Oh yeah. They look uneasy, but once you're done talking, they've kind of snapped to attention. They have their rifles down in the low ready position. They're like, they share exchanged glances with one another. You can hear the vox click of a shared conversation on their private channel. And then the one right in front of you speaks up. Make a bloody good point there, sir. We'll stand by. Let us know what you need.
Helicoprion will gravely nod, will kind of tap his black painted armor. He will remind them, we are not just the Emperor's Angels of Death. We are the Death Watch. we do not come here lightly. Do not make this more of a burden for your planet than it already is.
He salutes. Understood, sir. No problems whatsoever. Waiting to be dismissed.
I'll just dead glare him until he walks away.
He's waiting to be dismissed.
I'll give him the nod.
He turns on his heel, and the rest of his retinue make their way down the hall and out of your sight.
That's one less problem for us. Out of character. In character, though, Helicoprion will turn to Dietrich and will actually... we'll get a little bit into it here, Dietrich. So Helicoprion turns to you and says, you say you're fast. You have a jump jet. Much trickery has befallen us here already. Survey the area. Be sure no other traps await us.
Understood. I immediately take off.
As for Hercilia, honestly, Helicoprion's not really sure what to do. Working beside Sisters of Battle in his position, not that common, being aboard the flotilla. So, oof. I think Helicoprion.
You did have me. You were gonna have me go round up the officers of the ship.
That's right. Yeah.
and
Then Helicoprion will leave you to do that.
yeah. Trying to think of what else. Yeah, she was like, yeah, I can definitely do that. And the thing is that she was just like, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna take it one step further, and had Sugan help her out of her Paragon suit while y'all were doing all that.
I do remember that. Yep.
Feel free to go one step further. Go 2 steps further. Be exciting. Literally eat a man's heart.
I don't know if that's the kind of diplomacy I'm going for yet, but we'll check back in with on that idea.
I like that it's a yet and it's still on the table. I respect that.
We may have to if these officers don't comply.
True. So, Helicoprion, after Hercilia departs, what do you do?
If we're in the command center here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pop back in, and I'm going to see what access I have to any of the tactical overlays and cogitators that can give me an intel on the planet and the location, and I'm gonna do some planning. Basically, I'm just gonna step back from the scene as far as an active participant. I'm gonna go into a planning phase. Because I'm the tactical lead, I need more intel before I can make any decisions. So we're gonna ransack these computers. We're gonna yell at servitors. We're gonna grab poor Imperial pages to run step and fetch for data slates. Whatever I've got to do. Essentially, this has just become my command center.
Well, your command center, having the stigma of being new, now loses that because the ownership is new. At least for the time.
That works.
As we kind of pan out from the scene, Hercilia, you go to gather the officers.
Indeed.
Where do you go?
Indeed. Okay. I'm thinking. So this is my first time being on this planet and in this building, so I'm not particularly sure about the layout.
You have actually been on this planet and in this building before. When we first saw you, you were you were in the Primaris Citadel in Vincent's quarters.
Okay. Sorry, I got my wires crossed.
Don't worry.
Okay, so then I do know my way around a bit.
Mhm.
In that case, I'm gonna head back to the Inquisitor's quarters area because that general wing of this area should be for high-ranking officers. And so for those who are off duty, I will check and see if anybody's in.
Yeah, absolutely. So you come across a number of folks that are currently checked in. If you ask the clerk, they ask if there's anybody that you're looking for in particular. This kind of quaint older woman.
Do I know any names, or do I just need to gather the rank and file?
Helicoprion would have told you that ahead of time, so you can have him chime in now as well if you want to.
Helicoprion, names, or just
you don't
offer?
not names. Like what specifically officers were you looking for?
Okay.
That's what I wanted to know.
I'll say those particularly close to the Lord General, so maybe some lesser generals or majors.
Okay, so like upper cadre members.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just start at the top and start working our way down. So people like them.
Yeah, so you are told that bearing the inquisitorial rosette, they are not going to tell you no. He tells you, of course I can ring them up for you on the Vox, but is there something I should be concerned about?
Matters of state. You see, I cannot share them. The Emperor requires their presence.
Oh, of course, I'm sorry. And she picks up the Vox meter and begins dialing them one by one, saying that a member of the Inquisition is requesting their presence in the lobby. One by one, they make their way from their quarters, and there's a firm lineup of off-duty officers who are putting their uniforms back on in various states of disarray, clearly having been woken from their sleep. A couple of them a little bit woozy with drink from their previous night, not having completely slept it off yet. One of them speaks up. Can we help you?
Perhaps you can, perhaps you can't. I must request your presence down in the hangar. Can I make a check to maybe get a read on those who are present?
Yeah, absolutely.
What would that be?
Scrutiny, usually.
Scrutiny. Okay.
I'm mistaken. Let me look at your skill. Yeah, I would say scrutiny.
Any modifiers or just flat?
You're used to dealing with military types, but they're definitely going to be a little bit put off by dealing with somebody from the Inquisition. I would say that you'll have them at an advantage. You can take a +10.
Okay. Thank you. Yay! That's my first successful check all game.
Let's go.
And also your last.
Oh,
Shut up!
So
don't wish that on me.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they look very much concerned. As far as they knew, there was no reason for the Inquisition to show up. Everybody knows that the Inquisition can show up at any time for no
Nobody
reason.
expects it, though.
But exactly, nobody expects
Nobody.
it.
Yeah.
But they were really not expecting it. Given that they're literally on a war front, the last thing that they're expecting is somebody to come and investigate where they're launching that war front from, where all these people are coming very temporarily to then go off to. There's so many people that come in and out of here. It feels like what what are you doing here? All the people are like out there. Like,
Officers, the Inquisition has reason to do an audit. I must request your presence in the hangar bay.
they finish dressing themselves and stand to, making themselves ready. A couple of them drinking some recaf to try and get the booze off their mind.
I'm gonna lead them down to the hangar where we were. Is there anybody else that I need to
When you say
round
hangar,
up?
I'm confused. Which...
Is it like the place where we were, where like our ship was, and we were
Oh no,
talking
that's far
to...
away. You guys had to
Oh, okay.
take a. You guys had to take like cargo
Oh,
trailers.
okay.
over
So,
here.
what about the room where we were in with General Lord Castus and
Okay, so back to the
Inquisitor
command
Grace?
center.
Command
Helicoprion's
center,
command center.
Sorry.
You're good.
Sometimes I get confused when it's out theater of the mind and don't have a map to look at, spatial reasoning and all that.
That's fair. So you make your way back upstairs through the elevator to the command center, and the Tempestus Scions that you saw last time you were out here are no longer stationed here. Your best guess, they're probably in the Medicae watching over their Lord General, given that they know now where he is. Yeah, there's not anybody that stops you on your way back up. And after another good like 30 minutes through the interior of this palace, palace isn't the right word, castle, I guess.
Fortress?
Fortress. Fortress is the right word. Sorry, I literally read the word castle on the note that I gave to Sugin, and it's just in my mind as castle. Fortress is a better word for it. Yeah, you make your way back through the doors.
Here to help. Is anyone back by the time I've gone through all this whole trip to get these guys?
The only person that might be is Sugin. Daxan's gonna be busy doing his juicing, and then Dietrich is gonna be doing his recon, and that's gonna both of those things take a minute or two, quite a while.
Okay, that's fine.
Sugin, have you made your way back at this point?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, his psychic investigation was interrupted by something a little bit more imperative, so he's going to bring back this missive, and is her and I the only ones there at the moment? I know. I was gonna say Helicoprion's busy, like fucking establishing Star Command.
Kill me.
What are the
He is busy
captions say?
fucking.
It said you have a girlfriend, son. That's hilarious.
Girlfriend. Yes, yeah, you have one of those girl friends I've been hearing about.
Oh, that's
Girl friend.
Sorry, that really fucking took me out of it for a second. I'm good. I forgot what you asked me. I'm sorry. That really fucking took me
So
out of it.
Helicoprion would be present. Hercilia would be present. Sugin would be present.
Yeah.
A bunch of these Grand Moffs would be present.
Like a trail behind Hercilia.
Is Tarkin here?
No, he's dead.
Rip Tarkin.
No, my man got
Damn.
fucking force choked
That was
He
a
was
long
in
time
that.
ago.
in a galaxy.
He's like David Carradine.
Any man who can command the Imperial War Machine in pajama bottoms and fuzzy slippers deserves my respect. So,
True. All right, so we've got the advisors and officers, the closest confidants of the Lord General, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I've got a Psyker, and I've got a Sister of Battle. Time to play good cop, bad cop, worse cop, I think.
Mama said psych you out.
Sure sounds like it.
Because there are a lot of ways to get to someone, and there's also a lot of vulnerabilities that flow both ways. If the Lord General is compromised, then I have reason to believe that everyone in this room has been compromised. I'm not saying that out loud, but I'm thinking it. And I will vox the squad that. So you would all actually hear that. Regardless of where you were at, Helicoperon's voice would come over and he'd lay it out cleanly. You know, we are in a situation, we're vulnerable to compromised actors. We're going to be investigating and interrogating some of the top officers of the Lord General. Keep that in mind while you are moving and maneuvering around. And the people close to you right now may also be compromised.
Dietrich, like hundreds of feet in the air, like to himself. What people?
So yeah, I wanna grill them for details. Everything that's been going on for the past several weeks. I think we have a timeline for this, don't we? When things start going, when that other force arrived, right?
We did, yeah, as I recall. Sorry,
Which other
Derek.
force?
The Marines.
the-
talked to
the
general.
Black
the
Temp,
Black Templars. That was last week.
quote
Yeah.
unquote.
So yeah, we'll go back to that, like when that happened, maybe a little bit before it, just because I'm paranoid. And I'm going to grill these guys for details. What were they doing? What were the reports? What activity? What troops were sent out? All of it. And I would like my compatriots here to help me.
Sure. Well, obviously, of course.
Fantastic. All right. So, what roles do you guys think make sense for you guys to get the most out of these people?
I would like to roll intimidation.
Okay.
Good
To
cop.
nobody's surprise at all.
Yeah, nobody's blown away there. I'm thinking probably just charm, because Sugan's trying to be good cop here.
So I have a question that I think I might have missed something during character creation. I never did choose how I wanted my skills to be distributed, and I think I never changed them from what they are as the default.
You just get the default.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Except for the
Okay.
things that are
Watch.
like Space
Yeah.
Marine specific, those you would switch over to your requisite Ordo.
Got you. So I have to train them in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thankfully, you should have a bucket of stat to
Yep.
back up pretty much every roll.
Yeah.
That's good. Is it okay? Now that I know that, and new player mistake, is it too late? Could I spend some XP to rank up one of my skills?
So here's the thing: you can spend XP at any time between sessions. So
Okay, so not during a session.
not during a session, but at the start or after a session or any time in between.
Okay.
If I've
alright,
established that we are at downtime in a session, you can also spend it then.
got you. Okay.
The only thing being, like, if you're going to take signature weapon again, you might want to hold off until you get downtime, until you can actually get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think what I'd like to do is I'd like to make a charm roll, and I'll sort of like pretend to act like Helicoperon's foil. Like weird, like after what I've seen, I don't want to, make assumptions about your character, but I'm assuming he's being very forceful.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So
Where were the other drugs headed?
Slam.
Swear to me. Where's Rachel?
Hercilia will be pretending to have the demeanor like, oh, we're just here to help, and we just want to get to the bottom of things. You want to serve the Emperor, don't you?
Sugan cries a little inside, losing his job yet again.
Well, that's a good opportunity for them to have like a conversation after this, like in party, like, don't take my job is what I do.
That's my job.
That is what I do.
I am the nice one.
Okay.
Would you say that would be charm or deception?
That sounds like charm. You're trying to butter him up.
Yeah. Okay. Positive or negative modifier?
You guys have them at a disadvantage severely. You've woken them up from bed, told them that their chain of command is corrupt, and that they are now all under suspicion of purging by the Inquisition. And if they are not forthright with the information and tell you what you want to hear, they are there's nothing standing in between you and doing your duty. So they're gonna get you're gonna get a +10 on this.
Cool. Okay. Yikes. Negative 6.6.
What is that?
That's what you get for stealing my job.
I'm gonna re-roll that because that's pretty bad.
All right.
You got this.
Rolled a 96. Wow. Damn. Okay. Still a fail, but not as bad as a 6.6.
Okay.
God damn it, Morgan, you cursed me.
The last good roll you'll ever make.
So the officers are. I mean, they're definitely not expecting to be buttered up, but they're not showing any sign of their armor being broken down or their reserve being broken through. They are acting professional. They are acting courteous, and they are minding their P's and Q's even more so than they usually do on their best days.
Let's see.
I'd like to follow this one up.
Go ahead.
Because we could do like good cop, bad cop, good cop.
2 good cops.
I am the goodest cop.
I'm pretty accurate, right? And these guys are holding pretty still, right? I like Dylan just starts cracking up.
I know where this is going.
The old fish and barrel technique.
Yeah,
Um,
those things are true.
we're gonna dump a couple rounds from the storm bolter into the door above their head.
When you say a couple, what's a couple?
What's my rate of fire? Give me about 3 seconds of that
3 seconds of
That's
that.
the real question. Right
Okay.
through the storm bolter.
Okay, let's. Fun things.
It's enough rounds.
The
Good times, grandfriends.
door is shredded. You can make a ballistic skill if you want, but I think you're good enough with your gun where you don't have to.
I would also challenge on one thing here. My armor is so entrenched in blood that it's in fact staining through even the black paint. I have a fear trait of 1, and I would say this is at this point probably a combat situation, and they should make a fear check.
Okay.
P.S. This could actually kill some of them. I'm sorry in advance.
Oh no.
You straight up gave one of them a heart attack.
What is. Oh, it's a leadership test, right?
I think it's just a will test.
It's just a will
Willpower,
test. Well, they are
definitely.
not going to be passing with a 4. I'll tell you that much for mortals.
I mean, it's a will test with zero penalty or 0 addition. And depending on how bad they fail it,
I'm pulling up their stats right now. Slow as hell. They failed by 2 degrees.
All right, then the next thing would be a shock table roll. That's a flat D100 plus 20.
47.
That's a 27 there, bud.
Yeah, he said plus 20.
Oh,
Yeah, because of the 2 degrees of failure. On the shock table, reeling with shock, the character backs away from the thing that confronts him. They cannot willingly approach. May otherwise act normally with a -10 on all tests until the end of the encounter.
I will say that that's going to translate to a plus 10 bonus to you guys moving forward and dealing with them.
Yeah, Helicoprion won't say anything. Just Hercilia does her thing. They don't seem to be really buying. Stormbolter comes up, just absolutely shreds the door behind them. And this is Sugin's chance to come in and mend some fences.
Not just the door behind them, the wall behind that door, probably the wall behind that, probably the external
Probably a servitor.
wall. Yeah, maybe a trooper or two just minding their own business in the bathroom.
It's like that scene from Incredibles where like Mr. Incredible throws his boss through the walls and just fucking goes.
It is basically a chain gun grenade launcher. It is kind of insane.
Perhaps overkill, but that's what they get.
Sugan, they are literally
Baby.
backing away from the 3 of you guys, just like their backs to the wall at this point, all desperately looking as if they're about to start like sprinting for the door.
Hold on. We still have much to discuss. Would you perhaps have a seat? What's left of the seats?
With their eyes on Helicoprion, I'm going to need you to make a charm test. With a plus
Okay.
10, or plus 20 now.
Sit the fuck down or I'll kill you. Oh, let's see.
Plus, you're not
Damn
wearing
right.
the helmet, I believe, which is really
That's why I got another.
Plus 25. Nice.
Yeah. 4 successes.
Damn,
Please, just have a
5.
seat. We still have much to discuss.
Got a 5 on the die.
Yeah.
he got his job back.
I only roll this high or this low. Like, there's no fucking in between. Like, it's either I roll piss poor or I roll like really good.
The officers very, very slowly Stormbolter negotiation. The officers very, very slowly approach the table, assuming that Helicoprion backs off because they cannot willingly approach him really for the rest of the
I'll give
encounter.
him space.
What's that?
I'll give him space.
So good of you.
Yeah. Okay. They sit down at the table, kind of one by one, looking to each other like we're all probably about to fucking die.
Lol, Sugan said Lamau.
Oof.
It is at this point that I think we're going to switch and pivot on over to Dietrich. Currently up in the sky.
Okay, I'll be right back. I need to go to the little Space Marines room.
Dietrich, please, can I ask you for an awareness roll?
An awareness roll.
You can take plus 20 for damn good ground.
That's pretty good. That's 5.7 degrees of success.
You said, I see your 5, Red, but how does a 4 sound?
Oh shit, I did roll a 4.
Yeah. You can see a lot from up here. Some might say you can see everything that might be happening that's important around here. You can see a large number of Maccabian Janissaries practicing. And no, this is not just me inserting Maccabian Janissaries. It actually says that in the book. I was happy when I saw that because I like them a lot. Practicing their drills and doing PT, physical training, out in the training yard. In the mustering grounds, you can see some units that are being kind of drilled up. Looks like they're new bloods. on actual drill, like parade stuff. Not that it's going to really matter if they will ever see a parade, more because it is discipline and they drill discipline because it's what you do. If I did it in the United States Air Force, they're definitely do.
Yeah.
The city's quiet. The city's really quiet from up here. You can see some transport trucks arriving down at the courtyards. There's some general anxiety just about the place itself, but really quiet. What do you do?
Are there any? Can I see any like major ports or any like transportation hubs, like where ships would, other than where we landed, but like any sort of areas where transports would land and take off and head to orbit, or like I saw like the training ground for the local PDF. I want to know like are there barracks nearby there? Are there vehicles? Are there ammo depositions? That kind of thing. As well as, are there any kind of like, to the best of my ability to glean at least, are there any kind of like social hubs where people might gather? Like, I guess something like a shopping center or something like that.
Okay. So from where you are, everything that you just asked for, you can see around the Primaris Citadel. This is the Imperial hub on this planet. This is the bastion of pretty much everything, aside from the Imperial faith. There is a separate church off in the city for that. The barracks that are right next to the Primaris Citadel look like they've been kind of hastily erected, and rather than take them down and replace them, you can see nicer and newer maybe not nicer, but newer and more actually well constructed barracks the further out you get from the Citadel, as if the ones that were closest were made like patchwork, and then they're like, we'll get around to fixing it up, and then they never did. The spaceport that you guys arrived from is visible from here, but it's pretty far away. I'd say it's kind of off a little bit towards the horizon. The more like civil spaceport on the opposite side of the city, there's a number of military like gunships that are used to go to and from orbit on a daily basis, as well as troop transports that land on the opposite side of the Primaris Citadel from the mustering grounds and the training grounds. They are pretty much constantly functioning. Literally as you're here now, you're seeing gunships and troop transports take off to break orbit and go make their way into a larger spaceship. What was the last thing you asked me?
Is there any kind of like area where civilians might gather, like any kind of like market or living district or anything like that?
That's what I thought you asked me. Okay. So, the tallest building, it's not really a building, tallest structure that you can see from where you are this high in the air. It's not as high as the Primaris Citadel, I'd say it's probably like 2/3 as high as it, is this absolutely massive black stone. It is smooth, almost round to the touch, but very, very sleek. It seems to almost diffuse whatever light might touch it. It, rather than reflect it, it just kind of like glows around the stonework. And there is a large, large swath of shanty towns and all manner of like hastily constructed imperial type hab blocks and buildings, some of which would not pass inspection, a lot of which would not pass inspection. And then at the very center, all around this massive black stone structure is the kind of canvas tops that one might come to expect of a large open air market.
Okay. I have no like further questions about about what's going on in there. I just wanted to know where that was. Like, because as far as like um, as far as like where like we know that there's some kind of like dissension going on here, and that's probably occurring within the local population or within the local PDF, and it's good to know where both of those are. So after I do that, I basically swoop around and beeline back to the fortress.
Omni, before he leaves the sky, I think you're muted.
When you're muted,
Yeah.
right? So, at this point, Dietrich, I imagine you'd hear a little fuzz in your comm bead, and I imagine this would be broadcast to everybody, which is it would be Daxon over a comm in one of those encrypted channels the Death Watch enjoy. There would simply be a series of like clicks. He'd be doing this in Astartes battle code, which I assume, or a variant that, our sister would be able to understand. And it basically says, the poison is Astartes manufacture. Be aware.
Dylan,
Yes.
as you hear this coming through the box speed, Dietrich sees a number of troop transports drive up through the main gate. They pass through the gatehouse, but you rolled with a significant amount of success. Something feels off about it. Something in your warrior brain, something tells you something's off. And no sooner than this registering in your mind, you can hear the sound off in the mustering grounds.
I look in the direction of the crossfire and I hear the screams of civilians running away. I open the link to my box, contact, and I dive bomb, drawing my chainsword, and just ready to go. Like immediately into the fray. Full burn.
You've been waiting.
So you fire your way off into the training grounds where the folks came up from, like, beneath the hill, charging upwards, and are now firing upon civilians willy-nilly, as well as doing their best to stage an assault. It is quite a sizable horde that is staging this. I'll say that. Do you want to make an attack roll now, or do you want to wait until everybody else is engaged with combat? I'll leave it up to you.
Compromise. Cut away from me after I do this to everyone else, and we can kind of like go from there. Because I'm going to engage right away, like no matter what. I am going to inhale. I'm going to open the Vox grills of my helmet so that it's projecting outwards. I'm going to inhale, filling all 3 of my Astartes lungs with air, and I am going to scream into the crowd of like oncoming attackers, as I just want to make an intimidation check.
Beautiful, go for it.
Do I get any bonus to this?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're fucking screaming space where you're coming from the sky at them. Take a fucking plus.
There's a plus 30. Jeez. There's a like trail of smoke as my jump pack is just put into the highest possible gear it can.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's 5 degrees of success.
Nice.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So we can see the first line of these folks that are rushing up to take firing positions. instantly look up, drop their weapons, and like take a couple steps back, like, and you just there's a wet squelching sound as they become nothing but paste. Helicoprion, Daxan, Sugin, and Priscilla, you all heard the trick tell you that there are contact, or there is contact.
Okay, well, issue is that I actually took off my suit to, like, interact with these guys to give myself a bonus for interacting, and now I'm not in my suit.
Sugin can help you.
I will carry you.
Carry me.
Carry me closer. I want to hit them with my sword.
So, is there a window in the room?
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. I just had this fucking card moment. Like, it's just like the camera turns over to a window, and you see Sugan run through the wall right next to the window. He's like crashed through the wall. It's like cartoon shit.
Kool-Aid man.
Sugan's gonna look over to Ursilia and just like look like, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
She's gonna sigh and just, like, hold out her arm like, you're gonna pick me up, aren't you?
Grab. It's like, and I'm gonna just imagine that it's like King Kong. He's like this, ooh, like this big freaking dude like carrying a woman. So I'm gonna use my force stave, and if you'd allow me to do like a little bit of warp fuckery, I'm just gonna go like blow the wall out and just like leap through it.
Yeah.
My man
Break out
over here
the,
like beep.
break what's it called? I don't remember. I know armor glass is another term that they use. There's a specific. It's escaping my mind right now.
It's like it's the concrete version, right?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name of it.
I don't know. Knowing Warhammer is like conquer glass or something like really fucking weird and like
Is it-
Latin, like
is it like-
splundum glass or
Is
something
it
like
plastic
like
crate?
No, it's like
Oh,
it's
it's
raw
not.
crete. It's raw crete.
Rockcrete isn't glass. Rock.
Well, that's like the building material.
Yeah,
I think
that
it's
would
just
be what the
glass.
tower's made out of. We're getting too bogged down in this. You blast out the glass with warp fuckery, and you shatter out the window.
Yes. Okay. Heading towards the combat, trying to make sure that the Sister of Battle doesn't actually just die in the fall. But if I remember correctly, I just pretty much negate fall damages Space Marine throw.
No, we were having a discussion last time about how Space
don't
Marine can
think
die from 30 feet of falling.
Yeah,
what it
because
Yeah, Space Marines 100% suffer falling damage unless you have a
I
jump dash.
literally just read about a fucking named character dying from a fall.
Yeah.
Do you have a name? Are you
The
falling?
Painted Count in the first, the second Siege of Terra novel.
He didn't have a life alert.
Good news is,
He did actually.
Oh, his box. You're right.
No, it was a demon.
Oh,
your homeboy
I'm falling.
Helicoprian's got a jump pack though.
I really need to read the Siege of Terra.
so how high of a fall is this before?
Oh,
like,
you're
literally
at the
swing
top
myself
floor,
up?
so it's, you know, high. Hundreds,
Okay.
hundreds of meters.
Damn it.
Can we pan to me?
Or
Lift me.
All right, so we've been interrogating these guys. Have they given us any information?
yeah, they've been compliant with you guys. Pretty much everything that you've asked for, they've complied. What specifically have you asked them up to this point?
Really quick, Derek. Player to GM, I need to know this. Do I have a single doubt about the men in this room?
No,
Not a single one, not a scrap of one.
no.
They get to live.
Or not.
Because I was straight up just going to murder all of them. Like, I don't have time for this right now. You all get to die. No, in that case, I'm going to go after my homeboy. And,
I'm over here living out your best dream.
I mean, right. And also the Sister of Battle.
Fly me down.
So yeah, I will just take one disgusted, raking look across these cowardly men, and then pitch myself out of the tower as well, and be like, Jesus fucking Christ, I gotta catch these assholes again.
Suga's just like free falling. Like I know he's coming. He'll be here soon.
It's like fucking Iron Man.
Suga's fucking.
Hercilia like eventually realizes that he doesn't have a jetpack. And it's just completely at a loss of what the fuck to do.
I trust my brothers. You not trust your sisters.
And she just kind of looks at him like, are we about to fucking die?
Yes.
All
You
the-
say, you don't even have
all the
to. You're not even verbalizing the question. You're just like yes. Helicopter may be a bit rash, but he is not going to let me fall.
If we don't die from this, I'm going to kill you.
I'd like to see you try.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be trying to snatch them out the air.
I'm ready.
God.
Absolutely.
Catch
go
me,
ahead
brother.
and
Catch
you-
me.
What?
Would that be a pilot personal roll with my
Yeah.
jump pack?
Yeah, I think so. Take a +10. I think this is pretty routine to catch somebody with your jetpack. It's definitely some shit that the sharks pull off on the reg.
We're going to re-roll that.
Okay.
Can I give him a fate point so we can have +10 to this in advance?
I do not think fate points are transferable.
Oh.
There you go.
Hey!
Nice.
From negative
never did
2.7 to positive 2.5.
Never didn't happen.
So, what I'm going to say happens is like, I jump out, kick the jetpack, and I overshoot. So rather than snatching you guys like from behind by the collars or whatnot, it's more of Sugan slams bodily into Helicoprion and I flutter the throttle so that we stay aloft or at least plummet at a more reasonable pace.
I need to get one of these. He says he like patted the jump back as he
You
was
do.
going up.
The sound of the burners just in the metallic thud of power armored ceramite on barricade below. You are not in the middle of it yet. They're coming from the far side, and you are right there at the bottom of the Primaris Citadel. But tall and covered in the blood of traitors, Dietrich is mowing through motherfuckers.
The first thing you see is like I guess Helicoprion, you would probably cue in on this first. The rate at which Dietrich is able to attack the horde of traitors, he was holding back in his fight against Daxa.
No.
So I guess we're queuing on that. The first thing that you see is he grabs someone by the head, pulps them, and then flings their body into somebody else before hacking down into somebody else. And he is just coated in gore.
Daxan, how do you enter the fray?
I guess if Daxan
I
sees this as well, then
that-
you would also cue in on the fact that it's like, hang on a second. He's swinging that thing way too fast.
I'd say that Daxan
I
is
totally-
arrive at like the same time.
Yeah.
I totally didn't forget that I have the swift attack talent and I can attack twice in one turn. Very nice.
That's perfectly fair.
That's a nice cover story for it.
So. Oh man. You see, there's part of me that's like, there's the Omni part that's like, I really want to fight. It's fun and I enjoy it, and my dude is really good at cutting people up. But also, how close is the fighting from where Daxan is in the Medicaid facility?
The Medicaid facility is in the middle, like in the central of the tower itself, as well, like laterally as well as horizontally. Like it's situated in the core of the tower.
Gotcha. So, and the distance to this, to the battle, to where this battle is taking place is how long?
I would
If
say
I like Space Marine sprint.
by Space Marine sprint. I don't know if you'd be able to fit through the stairs. Taking the elevator would. It'd probably take you a little bit of time. But
we just cut to Jackson just like in the elevator with elevator music playing.
There's a dark
Just him like
episode,
quietly
like,
nodding
mostly
his
going
head
through.
to the tunes. Like, yeah. So, a couple of minutes to get there then?
if you're taking the elevator, yeah.
Okay. So, Daxan would be doing that calculus in his head. And he would be listening to the sounds of Laz fire. How are the rest of the folks in the Medicaid facility reacting to this?
Oh, you can't hear it from here. Nobody in here knows.
Okay. So if that's the case, then it would just be from Dietrich letting us know he's engaging. That
Yeah.
we'd know there's
Yeah.
battle. All right. Knowing that, I think Daxan would make the calculus, and he would think I have an Inquisitor and a Lord General here, who is 100% an accessory to attempted murder. He's not going. If he leaves and those two disappear or die, we lose so much. He trusts his battle brothers. He knows they can get the job done. So Daxan is going to, as he's in the middle of this incredibly delicate process, isolating this toxin and getting things going, again, like the giant 7 successes, I figured he's been full on head in book doing this. He's going to exit the chamber for a moment and sort of open the door so that the entire Medicaid facility can see and hear him. He's going to reach over and click one of the nearby little Vox comms, you know, like the speaker systems you hear in all the hospitals. It's like, paging Dr. Whoever. He's just going to click that button and then speak into it. Attention Medicaid facility. I am Daxan Tal of the Death Watch. As of now, this Medicaid structure is on lockdown. Any who attempt to leave must ask me directly. You will report to me if anyone comes in, and they will speak to me directly. Any failure to adhere to this new protocol will result in your life being forfeit to the Emperor's grace. This is non-negotiable. Furthermore, you have 2 patients here. They are your priority. Any further patients are a distant second. If we have any potential incoming injuries, they are to go through me for triage. If I hear anyone has reallocated medical assistance to anyone without my direct say-so, then we will have another body in the morgue today. That is all. Click. And he just surveys the room to make sure everyone knows, like, I will fucking kill you if you don't think I will.
Yeah, they're all
Like,
kind of just like
he's-
standing their mouth agape a little bit.
That reminds me of my high school principal almost. You
Yeah,
leave the
just
school
pauses.
early, we will kill you.
He pauses for a second, looks at everyone. What are you waiting for? Get back to work, now! Then he's going to turn back and enter the chamber.
Kane says, "Let the galaxy burn."
If I have
Again?
to kill a hospital, it'd be very sad.
Oh no.
This will be fun. We got this.
Okay,
Okay.
very good. So, on the outside,
Swear to God, if the Death Guard comes up, they're looking back again.
he gave me explicit instructions
Yeah.
for what not to include.
Yep.
There is currently a magnitude 60 horde amassed outside, trying to assault Primaris Citadel. Battle brothers and sister, what do y'all do?
Engage.
Go to work?
I'm
Give me
engaged.
one moment. Why the fuck is shit getting rolled?
I was rolling their initiative.
I'll roll mine now as well.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Woo!
Alicia, initiative is a D10 plus your agility mod.
Thank you. I was looking where to find that, and I'm just like, I can't.
I am very fast. I am the quickest.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to add the +4. But yeah, I have a 12 along with Sugan.
Nice.
Which is fitting because I'm being held.
Very good.
I'm sorry, what was initiative one more time?
D10
It's just
plus
a-
your agility.
Yeah.
Feels appropriate. Character has literally committed to not going to battle. Helicoprian really wants it.
No kidding.
You can taste it. I'm so close I can taste it.
He's hungry.
So, the I'm making sure what their agility is going to be. Yeah, still. No, that's going to be over Daxan's. So we're going to.
I rolled a nat 1. So
Yeah.
yeah.
We're going to start off with Helicoprion.
Okay, so how far away am I? Just lay out the situation for me real quick. We got a magnitude 60 horde. How far away?
At this point, I'm going to say they're at about 120 meters, pushing towards the citadel. They are moving at a rate of about 20 meters per round, and they are also taking actions the entire time.
How far away is everyone?
Everyone meaning,
How many of my allies are within squad range? I know that Daxan is not.
2 of them. Squad range,
Yep.
Meaning, within
10 meters.
10 meters, yeah. As Dietrich established, he is on the opposite end of the field, like, in melee range with them.
And Hercilia is not in armor.
Nope.
That's a problem.
Should be fun.
Looks like I'll be rolling a new character already.
Jeez.
Make sure that the big guy takes all the damage.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm here
big guy, you take the damage.
for. Just stand behind me.
We're going to activate a defensive ability called tactical spacing. So it's a full action on my part. I burn 3 of our cohesion, and we can share reactions. Immediately, what I'm going to tell you right off is Helicoprion's not going to use his reactions. We're going to dump those towards Hercilia. That will give Hercilia extra dodge and parries on her turn.
You are too kind.
So we land. Helicoprion sweeps his gaze across, sees Dietrich doing absolute fucking Ginsu Blade Fruit Ninja bullshit. Looks back at Sugan, looks back at Hercilia, and just locks in. You see, like, him square up and immediately take possession of the battlefield in a way that means he's going to turn blows aside. He's going to lend spacing and cover to his allies with a particular eye towards Hercilia, who is out of armor right now. He will also Vox everyone around and say the officers can be relied on. I do not fear that. Does anyone have a line to the what was the name of the particular guard? Tempest Scions?
Tempestus Scions.
Scions.
Yeah, Tempest Scions. Does anyone have an eye on Tempest Scions?
You asking me or you asking them? Because if you're asking me, the answer is no.
I'm asking the players, which they'd be informed by you, so the answer is no.
Yeah.
See, I'm afraid of
That's-
Tempestus because they can go toe to toe with a Space Marine. At least on the tabletop. And the tabletop is actually
Well,
surprisingly
only on the
accurate.
tabletop. In the lore, they get the absolute shit kicked out of them by us, but they're still dangerous, and they carry powerful weapons.
The good news is,
Have you seen what a hotshot can do in this fucking game?
I have, buddy, I have.
the good news is, it seems that there are none of them on the rebel field. It's the only thing I could swear to is the officers, not the line. So that's a relief. Yeah, that's my full action. Like, that's it. I just square up, take defense, and dump, and allow Sugan and I to dump our reactions to Versilia, allowing her to be a little bit more defensive. If you'll give me a, like, side note, I don't know what weapons Versilia is carrying right now, but
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that, but on my turn.
You can have my heavy flamer.
I was gonna let you have your multi-melter because I figured that's probably the one you wanted.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, that's all Helicoprion does. Locks up, chalks up, let's rock.
Cool. Very good. With that, we will move on to Sugi.
How close am I?
Bar, 120 meters.
Yeah, well, I'm being carried, so it's not like I really have much of a choice here.
I mean,
You're on the
I
ground
dumped
at
you
this
off.
point.
Oh, we're on the ground. Okay. Alright, is the sister still clinging to my back?
What else do I do? Just fucking fall, or?
Well, yeah, those are your options. So it's either it's yes or yes, essentially. How far can I cover in a turn with old Sugan here?
What is your movement?
I'm trying to remember where the hell it is in this sheet. Is it under
It's
weapon?
on
Yeah,
the
okay. Weapons,
first
yeah.
tab, characteristic and skills. Or no, it's on the weapons and skill, talents trait.
So you said I'm 100 and how much?
120.
That would take me 4 full turns to get into range.
They are moving closer to you at a rate of 20 per turn.
Oh, okay, that's not so bad. Miss Sister of Battle, you're about to experience one of the most terrifying fucking things you'll ever experience in your life, and that is me running and my armor slowly growling from like sounding like a bear to growling like a fucking dragon haunting a village. Like I am just running and fucking mocked it. I'm covering 30 in a turn. Yeah, no, the sight and sound of Sugan running is terrifying.
As you tear down the battlefield, you indeed hear the roar from this sound coming from his armor. It is now going to Priscilla. So you're at 90.
At least you're muted.
I can't hear.
Sorry, I muted myself because the cat's being noisy.
See,
Forgot
I mean,
that
it's
I
not
did.
just you. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I promise I love you.
No, it's okay. He says
It's all
from
right.
behind pain.
No, it's okay.
Smallest, I'm okay.
Wait, you have a multi-melter, so it has a bolter on it, right?
I do have an Astartes heavy bolter, which has a range of 150.
I was gonna say you're in range.
Yeah. So okay.
You're thinking of a combi melta, Red. That's multi-melta is the double-barreled melta gun.
Yeah,
cannon.
Imperium nonsense.
I do have the multi-melta, but right now the only thing in range is my bolt pistol, and I don't really want to. Is it possible for me to drop off of Sugan when I get within 60 meters of these guys? Because I don't want to get any closer than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So
Just let me know and I'll drop you.
Okay, I'll.
Because right now I'm running at a rate of like 30 miles an hour. You probably don't want to jump off. You ever jump off in a golf cart, like going like 15? Like it's pretty
A lot
rough.
of fun.
It is fun. Not when you're
okay.
jumping onto gravel.
I'll just communicate that with Sugan.
Very good.
And okay, so what do I need to roll to make an attack?
Ballistic skill.
Roll ballistics. Okay. Any modifiers? Maybe from like being high up, from being on top of Sugan.
No, not in this situation. No.
Darn.
8-foot
Okay.
elevation right now.
God damn you, Morgan.
I don't curse anyone. I just tell the truth.
You
I'll-
cursed.
it's a
No,
prophecy.
you
It's a prophecy.
cursed me. You cursed me.
Use your fate. Use your fate because you just get it back at the start of every session.
Yeah.
I don't think you've
Okay.
used your reroll yet.
I did use the reroll from the session that Derek gave us, but
You do have 3 fate.
okay, so I will. So you get all your fate points back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they're burned.
Okay.
I don't know if they do burning in Death Watch though.
Yeah,
you
you
burn.
can burn them.
You can burn them. Oh, you have to
Oh.
stop from dying. That's right. Another
Oh, I
thing.
accidentally rolled my weapon skill, not my ballistic skill. My bad.
Okay.
How is that worse? How is that
You
worse?
rolled because you rolled a 95. That'll do it. 95 versus a 76 the first time. I'm so
I don't
sorry.
want to roll high on the D100 in this game. Come on, roll 20.
Have you seen my entire encounter with the Death Guard? I completely understand you. And
Man,
I'm so sorry.
I am getting the fucking treatment of I made a really cool character, but the dice say my character is super lame.
That's this
So-
entire game. That literally sums up this entire game in a nutshell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their turn of the barrel.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, don't make that reference. That's foul.
Oh my god. Is there anything else that I can do with my turn?
So that is a half action. No, your gun requires a full action shoot, doesn't it?
I believe
Yeah.
so.
We'll say that you're braced while you're literally holding on to the Space Marine, or the Space Marine is holding on to you, for you to be able to fire on that turn, given up that he gave up his turn of actions for all movement. Doing a little bit of teamwork there.
Mind if I ask a quick question that might be relevant to this?
Yeah.
So, Elise, for your Devastator, which of the 2 abilities did you take? Immovable Warrior or Unrelenting Devastation?
Let me see. Is this a squad or is it
One is a solo mode, the other is a squad mode function. It's one of the 2.
I have re-rolled failed ballistic tests.
Okay. Yeah, no, this one's it's not actually a squad or solo mode ability, it's just your class. You get a special roll from them. So you either got a movable warrior, which is when you're wielding a heavy weapon and behind cover, you gain sturdy and a +10 bonus to all
I think
ballistic
that's
skill.
Yeah, I forgot to
Yeah.
put the name because I only have
That's
so much.
fair.
But yeah, it's the immovable.
Yeah, okay. You're just not behind cover at the moment.
Am I
so-
technically not cover? I'm a literal walking fucking wall.
Meat.
That's an excellent question. I
I'm
don't
a
know. Look at
meat
that.
wall.
I am
He's
pretty
considering it.
Fuck. Does anybody have tactical finesse? Because I wrote a summary for it, but
Tactical finesse.
and I didn't write the page number because I'm a dummy.
Oh yeah, I put
Working on it.
page numbers in because I knew I wasn't gonna remember.
I put
I'll
all
say
mine in
that yes,
dog.
if like at the end of Sugin's movement, he just like turns and like firmly plants his feet in the ground and showing his back to the enemy, letting you have the opportunity to use his massive shoulder pads to brace and level your multi-melta, then yeah, in that case.
So I can do what? I can.
You should, if you do qualify for a movable warrior, which is what the Devastator one is, which requires you be behind cover and wielding a heavy weapon, you're doing both.
Yeah.
If Sugan is willing to be your cover, then that means that you get a +10 to your ballistic skill, which would mean you'd have at least 1 degree of success to that roll.
Okay, so the
never
first,
mind.
to the,
I should
fir-
know you
the,
wouldn't.
the first one, to the first one.
It would have been a
That would be-
+10. Oh,
Plus
yeah.
10.
Yeah, okay, so it's still good to have in the future to be aware of it. It'll help you with, dealing with rough dice.
Okay, so I get to re-roll failed checks, or re-rolled failed ballistics checks.
How often does that proc?
Oh, that's a solo mode
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Yeah.
So we're not doing solo mode. We're in squad mode.
Yeah,
So
we're in
never mind.
We're in squid mode.
Squid mode.
Squidmore.
Squib.
Squid mode. I'm so excited
Okay,
on
what-
the edge of Squidmore.
What page is
Squad mode.
squad mode? Squid mode.
Squid mode.
So your ability your squad mode ability should be there. If you're looking for what your other actions are, I think on the
I'm currently working on it.
Sorry, fellow players and audience. This is my first time doing combat and Death Watch, and it is very
squid
different.
mode is a lot.
Don't worry
Yeah,
about
how
it.
dare you ask for help with literally the thing that we spent an entire session fucking up repeatedly, so you're good.
Oh yeah. Go back and watch our first episode if you haven't. It's pretty
It's
rough in
entertaining.
places.
Yeah. Okay, so it was tactical spacing is what we're currently using. That's on page 224. So, the way that it works is you can share reactions. So that's what it is. So you basically don't get. It doesn't give you any other mechanical benefits. It's just everyone has a pool of reactions they can share. So if
Gotcha.
someone. So basically, like as an example, it might benefit you if one of these guys tries to make a bum rush past Red's character. He cuts him down with a reaction. 2 more guys try. Red can use your reactions to keep making extra attacks of opportunity. So,
Is there, what page is the table on? Like where you can see all of them?
the chapter attack and chapter defense, all the squad mode stuff is on page 219 of the core book. And the ones that we're using are defensive stances, that's 223.
Oh my god, this
And
is so
onward.
much information, and I need to
I
go
will
lay
send
down.
you the pages. I will
lot.
send you a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I need to-
It's a crunchy game.
I
Okay,
don't
I'm-
think that
I'm
I
just-
would run Deathwatch just in person. I would only ever use a BTT to run that.
That's for damn sure.
Yeah. So no, my question was, I'm trying to find my squad abilities so I can activate mine.
So it's on your character sheet.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I'm looking for tactical finesse.
Kane says
Oh,
it's page 33, Rites of Battle.
33 rights of
Gotcha.
battle. Thank
He
you
probably has that
so
memorized.
much.
Thank you, Kane.
Kane's amazing.
Kane
Yes.
fucking rules.
Yes, thank
Oh
you,
my-
Kane.
He just,
Love you, buddy.
He just knows this stuff.
I
He has it
Secretly,
down.
Kane wrote it.
truly appreciate you.
Kane ate all
Yep.
of the books and then bought extra copies of them so he could literally absorb the knowledge.
Okay.
So, tactical finesse. Full action, cost
are you an orc?
3.
Say yes.
So you can make 1 melee or ranged attack as a half action and then make a half move. So it can only be made using the single shot rate of fire. So like, heavy bolters won't work for your multi-melter weapon.
Got you. Okay, I will, since I messed that up, I guess I'll save that for next turn. Unless Derek would be willing to be gracious and let me do that this turn instead of the failing all my attack rolls. Okay, yeah, like Ami said, I'll use my full action. Everybody in my support range can make melee, a single melee range as a half action and can make half a move.
So that's gonna be
And-
everybody.
Yeah, a character benefiting this may disengage from an opponent without a penalty.
Joel shaking his
That's
head
so
no.
Not me, because I'm still way out of range.
Well, okay, so
Sugan
Sugan,
and
Helicoprion,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
That's fine.
I'm
units
way
on.
out of range.
You're way out of range? You're at 30. I
They
thought the
ran
range is
60
30.
meters ahead of me.
He ran 30 meters ahead of you.
I ran 30.
You're still
Oh,
at
I
the
can
edge
go
of the
30.
range.
Range is like, okay, I guess.
It's not wholly within. Thank fucking God. I hate night.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to double check a few things, but sure, we'll go with that.
Thank you for the hydrate, Neris.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Don't hydrate, just hydrate.
If you had too much, make sure you urinate.
Ah,
Water goes in, water goes out.
Okay, and then that would be the end of my turn then, since I used
Okay.
my whole action to do that.
So Sugan and Helicoprion as reactions can take ranged attacks at the horde.
Yeah, I have my staff and my sword, so
You have a
one thing I
pistol.
can do is.
You always have a pistol.
Yeah, but I don't have maglocks on it unless you're gonna let me bullshit that.
Why wouldn't the fuck wouldn't you not take maglocks?
There.
Did I put maglocks on everything?
There's a
Yeah,
difference between maglocks
probably
and
did.
the weird repulsor maglocks.
The dipole maglocks are the ones that
Dipole,
you
yeah.
want.
In that case, I will not say no.
I dipole maglocked everything.
So my half move is 5. So I'm just a smidgen closer, and I'll make a bolt pistol attack. No mod. Nice.
Nice.
Ah, yeah, boy.
excellent.
Alright, very good. And bolter rounds have what qualities again? I know that they affect
Parry.
Parry, that's it? I thought they oh yeah, I guess
Explosive
they don't
tearing.
have explosive damage. Right, okay. So in that case roll define.
Pretty weak.
It is 10 though, so you reduce the horde's magnitude by 1.
Good by me. Good start, I guess. That's the last time I'm gonna ever use a bolt pistol. It's not what I'm built for.
Helicoprion.
Is it back around to me already?
You can use a reaction to make a ranged weapon attack if you so choose. I'm not under the obligation to do so.
Yeah, we're gonna storm bolter. Shit. It's only a single shot as a reaction. Yeah, fuck it, we'll storm bolter anyways. Gotta find the fucker. Hold on. It's to horde, right? 60.
59 now.
So I think that's at the threshold of 30 or plus 20.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. I did completely forget to tell Red to include that, but it really would matter if he hit anyway. I have that pulled up. It is just below immense, so it's plus 30.
Sick. And I still miss.
Is your weapon jam?
No, I don't think it does.
Okay.
Can I ask a question really quick? Are you supposed to be including the plus symbol when adding your modifier in roll 20 before you roll?
If I tell you to.
I mean, like,
No, mechanically you don't need to include plus. If you just do 20, it's considered a positive number. If you want to do a penalty, it has to be a negative number.
okay. I just wanted to make sure because I was like, have I been entering that in?
I've
wrong
had
this
that
whole
thought
thing?
myself.
Mathematically, it makes more sense to just enter, but you never know. So.
Programming.
Yep.
Sorry, buddy. The row of folks that you bolt down when their bodies explode, you can see chain marks on them, indicating that Dietrich had already mowed through them and they were in the process of dying. We are going to go now to Dietrich.
Cool. I am going to cleave mine enemies in twain with Foe Eater. I'm adding a +5 modifier because it is an exceptionally crafted chainsword. And I'm not sure if this is relevant for hordes. I don't know if that's the case, but Foe Eater has the felling trait, which means I ignore 1 level of toughness. I don't know if that affects hordes.
No, just their armor is calculated on a horde.
Cool. That is technically a success.
All right.
Now, I don't know how Roll20 can handle this, but it's a chainsword, so it has the tearing trait, which means I roll twice and I take the higher of the 2 damage rolls. So I'm going to roll twice. Like, it doesn't do it automatically, so I'm just going to roll twice and tell you which one's better.
Okay.
That is going to be a 24 and a 26, so that's 26 damage. And I am doing multi-attack, so I'm going to do it again. That is 4 degrees of success.
Beautiful.
And I will again roll damage twice for you. That is going to be 25 points of damage. So 51 total.
Oh, Jesus. That is very good. Okay. So what does it look like while you're just shopping through these raiders?
So action-wise, I don't move, but like narratively speaking, I am basically like using my jump pack with incredible finesse to like maneuver myself around the battlefield, and it's like watching the Doom guy, frankly. I just immediately like hack into a group of them as they start to run away. My chainsword just cleaves through several guys at once. I literally pick one up and I slam them into the ground and the sheer force of me doing so pulps his head into the floor. I just do this massive uppercut and I launch one into the air, and 2 pieces like fly away, slamming into 2 more of these guys. And it's, I think, like your call on what their action is, but I think that a vast majority of them are, yeah, like I'm in the rear and they're like running in this direction, but the vast majority of them in the immediate vicinity of me are just trying to get away from me, wherever that may be.
Yeah, that's totally fair. That means that we are going to these guys now. They are magnitude 5. That means that they have 5 ranged attacks they can dish out, and they can make a melee attack against everybody in their vicinity. So some brave motherfucker is going to come try and jab you with a bayonet. Be sure. Oh my goodness, that is definitely going to be a hit. Let me check how many degrees of success that is. That is 2 degrees of success.
That's against me?
Yep.
Can I parry a horde or no?
You cannot parry a horde. 1d5.
That'd be ridiculous, but I figured it was worth asking.
That's fair.
Can I dodge?
I don't think you can dodge
I don't
a
know,
horde's
so
melee attack. I'm gonna pull it up though real quick because I do have that. I do not think so. I do not think so.
Cool.
Maybe, but I do not think so. I do not have that part written down here, actually. We can double check on that. But I do not think it's going to break your armor. Just to be honest with you.
I figured it's worth asking. No.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think so. So, they, quickly just one brave little soldier runs up, tries to give you the old jibby jab, and it just bounces off the ceramite. Now it's...
I barely noticed. I probably torched one's face with my jump pack.
The ranged attacks now. I'm gonna start on you here as well. No. Sugin, No.
Yep.
Helicoprion. Yes, actually. There. Auto guns or las guns. There's the las guns. 1d10. 12. 10-0.
Where to?
32. What area is 32? I believe that's the first one. I'm not sure. On your armor. 32
It
is the
is.
body shot. Yep.
I have 17 armor.
None of it goes through.
Bink.
There's a little baby ghost of a scorch mark where it glances over you. Sugin already attacked, Helicopter already attacked. Now it is Hercilia's turn. Oh, that's a d20. My bad. No, we're not. That's hilarious. That went from a natural 20 to a 90. Yeah, it definitely doesn't hit you. And then
Thank
I
God.
have one more. I'm gonna aim it at the salamander, the big guy in green.
It's me.
No, definitely.
Yay.
That is going to be Daxan. Are you doing anything?
I figure he remains inside of the medical ward. He's keeping an eye out. Dietrich, did you ask if anyone... No, sorry, Helicoprion, did you ask if anyone has eyes on the Tempestus? Was that you actually saying that on comm?
Yeah, damn right it was.
Okay, when that happens, Daxian's going to take a moment, and from inside of the private chamber, he's going to look back at the two medical technicians and the Inquisitor. How's she doing, if I might very quickly ask, Derek?
She meaning the Inquisitor?
Yes.
Shallow breaths, but she's stable. She's not... Her situation's not going to get any worse.
Okay. And I imagine the toxin processing is just at this point taking time, or do I need to continue adding more rolls to it?
No, I wanted 5 degrees of success and you got 7 on the first one, so...
Fuck yeah. So he's going to turn to the Inquisitor and just grab her pick line, take his Narcithium, which has like the little robot arm on it, and it'll just sort of reach over, inject the antitoxin, and then just into the pick line so that it gets into her blood flow. He's going to turn to the other two and just say, "If she dies, you die. Keep her alive." And he's going to walk to the door and open it and take a look through the medical bay. I'm wondering, are there any Tempestus in the medical bay currently?
It is about at this point that 1, maybe 2 of them have made their way inside.
Excellent. So if that's the case, then he's going to stride towards the entrance to where they are and look down at the two of them and just say, "Well met. How may I help you?"
We're here for the Lord General. Angel. Death.
He looks down at them. "You can post a guard here. The Lord General stays in this chamber until I am done with him. Is that acceptable?"
No. We're not supposed to leave him alone, sir.
He walks over towards the Lord General's chamber. And I imagine there's like a glass window where I could see in, like into that part of the wing. He points to where the glass window is. "You can post here. Las guns can pierce through plastisteel." Or has that changed?
They look to their hot shots and like look up at you like,
Yes, sir.
Good. Thank you for your service to the Emperor. And he's going to stride past, and then pause, and then turn around. "Might I borrow your Vox for a moment?"
they look to one another. Give me a scrutiny check.
Okay. Scrutiny check. Scrutiny check. Any modifiers do I get?
Nope.
Okay. I'm taking a look to see if the diagnostic helm gives me anything, because I think it gives me like something. I just don't know whether it would benefit me in this situation. Diagnostic helm. Duplicate the effects of a prey sense site. That's interesting. Let's take a quick look at the prey sense site. Because you gotta bounce all over the place to see all these things. Oh yeah.
Wonders of Warhammer.
Yep, there we go. Here we go, prey sense site. Plus 20 bonus to vision-based perception checks. Okay, so that's not what we're doing. We're doing scrutiny. Roll. Did it roll it?
No.
Let's try that again. I don't know why it didn't roll that. Roll that. Ooh, I'm gonna re-roll that. I'm gonna use a fate point for that. Motherfucker. All right, it's fun. I'm not gonna waste more than that.
Their body language is hard to read in their suits, but they kind of like share a look for a second, and then he goes,
Right. The secure channels.
Dexen just sort of looks at him. That's excellent. And just holds his hand out for the Vox like a, you know, that's great. That's so cool. You have secure channels. I am about to have a secure channel. Please give me the Vox.
he hands it over.
He nods and clicks it. All Tempestus within the primary structure. Report to the med bay for immediate redeployment. There is battle currently. Prepare to protect this structure. This is Daxan of the Death Watch of the Inquisition. Over out. And you just click it off and hand it back. Sorry, we've been looking for a way to make contact with you formally. Unfortunately, this will have to do. And he turns and walks back towards the medical bay to see how the Inquisitors do while he waits for the rest.
Okay. Very good. We go back to the top of the turn order with Helicopter.
Okie dokie.
Heal a
Look at
cope,
that.
heal a seeth, heal a maul.
So how far away, or how far did you move last turn?
I couldn't full action to do the standard bearer bullshit.
Okay.
Also, yeah, maidenless behavior. I'm sorry.
The board has moved 20 meters closer to us.
So they're 100 meters away.
Yeah.
Are my primary allies, Hercilia and Sugan, still within squad range?
Yes.
Squid range.
Squid range. Yeah, in that case, I think I've got the reach for my Stormbolter full auto. Yeah.
You love to see it. Heretics hate him.
Full auto is plus 30, right?
I think so.
Yep.
And they're plus 20. They're what, plus 30? Plus 20.
They're plus
On
30
side.
still.
Yo, let's go.
No, I don't think you can miss.
It's not about if I can miss, it's about how much I can hit by.
Yeah.
Temptation is high to switch to better rounds, but we're just going to still field standard bolter rounds in this one. Stormbolt's good. Brrr. I think I did okay.
Oh shit! What'd you roll a 2?
Is that a nat 1? Like,
No.
you rolled a 2. A nat 2. That's nuts.
Motherfucker. Okay. At least we found out where all your luck went. I'm sorry.
Neuron.
Fuck
That's like
you.
neuron activation. That's like
That's fucking beautiful, so hell yeah.
Fuck you.
I have to double check exactly how many hits a Stormbolter can do. I think it's a lot.
Stormbolter?
I think it's a
Come on.
lot.
It is a lot.
I concur,
know that
it is a
for
lot.
fucking fact. So your rate of fire on a Stormbolter is currently rate of fire is a max 4. which means that for this thing, number of shots fired by the mode.
You can land 8
I
hits,
maxed it
Kate
out.
says.
I maxed it out.
8 is the max.
You did.
Yes.
That's nuts.
Damn, that's cool.
Unless you have talents or mods or something, the maximum you
I'm
can
not cool enough for that. I'm gonna take my 8 hits.
That is beautiful. Holy fucking shit.
That's nuts.
That's a technical fail.
Yeah. God damn it, Red.
I'm about to see some crazy dammies here.
Nobody knows what I'm referencing.
I do.
Holy shit.
My god.
And they don't stop coming, and they won't stop coming, and they don't stop coming.
One of those
One of those is Righteous Fury.
Furies.
Fed to the throne, gotta keep the throne running.
True.
So roll damage again.
What's that?
10,000 cycles after death.
So roll damage again.
Yeah. Actual 16. Okay, so
Oh no. There's so much other shit that's going on here too.
is there any weapon qualities that I need to be aware of?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I've got the total horde magnitude reduction at 12 right now.
Give me a second.
Just a moment. Pop, 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 ba-da, pop. Ba-da-da.
It just cuts to Dax in quiet dancing to hospital music as he's waiting for the results.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
My weapon is devastating, so add another 8.
So that's
That's 8.
20 magnitude.
That's 8 magnitude, yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
The weapon's explosive as well, so that's another 1 on each of those, I believe.
One on each of those damages, right?
That's another 1 magnitude, yeah, on each of the
Oh, one
hits.
of those magnitudes on each of those damages. So that's an additional 8.
Another 8.
28.
And my armor also gives me another 1 on each of those, I think.
I believe you're right.
Death is joy, right?
Yeah.
16 plus 24 is 40. You just took this horde from 54 to 14.
I love the idea that every time we come across a horde, it's not, oh no, an obstacle to be conquered. It's how long will it take for him to gently point his gun in their direction before they turn to mist.
Just racks the bolter. Speed bump.
Yeah.
Helicoprion's built for 2 things. One of them is really good at, one of them he's okay at. Remember, Helicoprion is the friendliest shark lad you've ever met. He is a pro-social Carcharodon. He's got a sense of humor. He likes people for Carcharodon, and he hates everything living with a fantastic passion. And he mows all down.
This is like turns to someone like 3 or 4 seconds. I don't know, 3.5? 2.5. Damn.
So, Dietrich, in the absolute middle of this horde, that guy that just tried to, like, jam you with his bayonet just turns into a shroud of red mist, as does, like, by the time that you recognize... Sorry, go ahead.
Explosive is just +1, not +1 per hit. My apologies.
Oh, okay, so it's just +1, not +1 per hit, so I need to give
So
them back.
yeah, 7 back on the board.
7 back.
So 21.
So they're at
Yeah.
21.
You still cut it in half.
I-
Fuck.
Less than half.
I literally like picked the guy up to try to stab me, and then I realized, where's the rest of you?
Yeah, it's just like it's just like the front like half like up to like his chest.
Like, that wasn't me. Look around. Oh, okay.
As is like the whole wall of bodies behind him, just like flying through the air in pieces, torn to shreds, absolute vapor. Helicoprion, do you have anything to add?
No, just checking in on my peeps, making sure everyone's still good, hearty, and healthy.
Hanging in there.
I think it's safe to say at this point that I look like a corn berserker, because there's not a single inch of me that isn't drenched in blood.
I don't think anyone within like a quarter click can say that they aren't drenched in blood at this point.
Jesus Christ, that was beautiful. Okay, Sugan, you're next one.
All right, time to top that. Okay, so there's just a horde ahead of us, right? I'm probably just gonna finish it off.
Magnitude 21.
Maybe not finish it off. Maybe just do some serious damage to it. So this thing moved 20 feet closer, correct?
Yeah, you moved 30 feet closer, so it is currently at 70 feet. Or 70 meters, excuse me. Not feet.
Drop me. You're supposed to drop me off at school.
Okay.
At
Drop.
60 meters. Yeah.
We
I'll
actually
drop
dropped
you.
the sister.
Dropping the sister. Deploying the sister.
I'm not even gonna get to try out my multi-melta. I'm so sad.
Oh,
I'm gonna
there's
use
plenty of targets around.
I'm gonna use a half movement to get a little bit closer, and then I'm gonna smite.
For it. Gonna untether?
I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna push it. Yes. I told you I'd push every single roll until I actually died. Let's. That shit.
Red, I love you.
God damn. Love you too, but...
You're the reason the Council of Nikia decided to screw over everyone.
Look, this is a sister, not a sister of silence. I'm doing what
Look,
the fuck
Magnus
I
the
want.
Red would be proud of you.
Yes.
Take that how you will.
Him
He
and his
would
fucking
be.
corn nipples. Let's see. Okay, so that'll be a willpower
that was a
test.
fashion photo.
Okay, so I need to pull up this special Google Doc I have for all my psychic powers because goddamn, you guys are just like, this game's hard. It's just like, I have a whole new character's worth of rules for this. Alright, so I got a plus 10.
I made a flow chart for my guy.
That's smart, actually.
I literally went into Canva and I made a flow chart. It's like, cast a psychic spell. Cool. Which one of these options do you do? I just followed that every time I cast a spell.
Beautiful.
Pretty
So,
awesome, actually.
okay, so Kane can correct me, but I believe that I add a bonus to my check equal to 5 times the psi ranking that I'm using of the push. Or of the psi ranking I currently have for the ability. So I'd have 5 times 6 as the initial bonus, which I believe is 45. Am I bad at math?
5 times 6 is 30.
5 times 6 is 30. Okay, yeah, I'm bad at math. Thank you. Soul's nodding as I was bad at math. So let's. That's gonna add a.
I'm jaded though. Everyone's bad at math compared to Jay.
True.
That's true. Okay, so my focus is gonna give me a plus 10. My hood is going to give me a plus 5. See, the hood gives me a plus 5. Yes. Okay. And the staff gives me a plus 15. Anything else? I'm forgetting. Okay.
I think that's
Great.
it.
Okay,
Wait, the
so
sword
this-
also gives you... No, the sword doesn't give you a bonus. Never mind.
No, the sword does not give me a bonus, sadly. Okay, so willpower test plus 60. And do I get any? Well, I guess I wouldn't get any bonus for targeting the horde that's a side power after all. Okay, let's see what I get.
Holy shit.
I will unleash the
What
power.
on earth is with everyone?
Holy shit.
I rolled a 5.
Are you getting Dietrich with this?
That's some Lion-O, Sword of Omens level shit.
Sight beyond sight.
All right, so I'm going to have to roll perils, not a perils check, but a disturbance in the warp. So let me pull that up real quick. Actually, if I roll above a 75, something really bad happens, and if I roll below a 75, we're fine. Below 75, oh, that's probably kind of not going to be much of it. Maybe I just fired up the place. Let me look at perils real quick. Red is sanctioning, blah, blah, blah. Where's the perils of the warp? Psychic power. Okay, here we go. I rolled a 12, so that'll be hoarfrost. The temperature
What did you
plummets for
tell
an
me?
instant. I knew you were gonna say that. The temperature plummets for an instant, and a thin coating of frost covers everything within 3d10 meters. So I'll roll 3d10 since everything just gets frozen within 3d10. If not people, it doesn't actually do anything. So within almost 20 meters of me, just like Sugan just like reaches his staff out like this, and you just see like there's like this moment of silence. It's like there's like a weird like rippling in the air. Everything focuses on him, and then you see like this ice in the ground just like turning this crag and white and icy cold. And he's just gonna, you just see this explosion, and I'll roll damage now. Sorry. Oh god.
Super cool. The psychic lightning frost effect.
I didn't even need to go that hard, but I did. All right, and I believe smite is equal. D6 is equal to the successes that I rolled. I'm just double checking, make sure I got that right, because it has been a while since I've smitten. It's been 3 or 4 sessions since I've smitten.
Yeah, we didn't have combat for the last 2 sessions. It's true.
Smoke.
Yeah, smite. All right. It'll be PS test. D10 energy damage times my psi rating. That many, and then
Yeah,
penetration
60
equal to
10.
Okay.
And then everyone within 1 meter times psychic rating target will also be affected by it. So whatever your so 6 meters, I guess.
It deals 1d10 damage. Yeah. I'm just targeting a single creature out of the horde and then explodes. So it's within 60 meters because I pushed this. So this will be 60. Some good damage. That's okay. Degrees of success mean anything for this?
It determines how many dice you're rolling.
Not for a smite. Because it's always just going to be a number of D6 or D10s equal to.
Sorry.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to do 29 damage with a penetration of 6.
Very good. That is going to reduce their magnitude a little bit more. They are now at 19.
Let's see here.
Half action to move, half action to smite.
Yep, I just got 5 closer. And, sorry, sister, you're gonna get hit by this, like, freezing fucking cold. Like, you just opened a freezer and stuck your head on it. Priscilla. But, he's certainly, driving all the attention towards himself. So, hopefully that's something.
Very good. Very good, Sugan. So that's going to take us to Versilia.
So I just shoot things. I don't do anything special. Is that correct? I don't think I have a bunch of abilities like Nick does.
No, you don't have to worry about the terror that is being the Psyker.
Thank God. Okay.
I have an entire chapter in the book about
like-
what it is like to be a
Yeah. Nick was just like spouting off all this stuff. I'm like, am I forgetting stuff on my character sheet?
Probably not,
Nope.
no.
That's my job.
No, Psychers are the only characters in the entire game that roll on a table to determine if they rolled too hot, if they rolled too well at killing things, to see if they're going to get killed for killing things.
I was gonna say I'd be rolling
I
hot, but I
see.
did just get like this frost everywhere. So.
Hey, that heat had to come from somewhere.
True.
Light and frost affect you.
Just there's cold as
You just
full
displaced the
black
heat.
Yeah.
It's really hot elsewhere on the battlefield.
Yeah, there's
Like
last
Sugan's
fire
brand.
all over the place.
Look, it's just psychic science. I don't need to explain shit.
It's science.
Yeah, you can just like science away stuff in science fiction. You can in fantasy. Like, oh, it's science we don't understand. Oh, it's magic. Same shit. Like,
Pretty much, yeah. This is science fantasy. It's the worst of both worlds.
so I'm gonna half move, and where do I check my move?
You don't. So you're firing a heavy weapon. You don't want to move and fire a heavy weapon.
Okay. Question. I guess we should have established. Please tell me Sugan put me behind cover.
I literally just put you right behind me.
Okay. So
I
technically,
moved
yes.
5 whole ass meters and then sat you down and then just like did like the smite explosion.
Okay. In that case, Let me see. What's the modifier for the horde now that it's been reduced?
19.
I mean, like what to our attack?
I don't believe there is one below a certain threshold. It is, yeah, below 30. There is no modifier to it.
Damn.
Does it keep scaling down? Because on table 13-1, it just has 30 to 120. I guess it just has hulking, so that would be plus 20.
Plus 20 to my roll. Okay.
19 plus 20. Yeah, I guess. I think so, but I don't know. That's the only thing that I can think of. Unless it just doesn't start with anything. King would know. I don't think it does.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm having so much trouble keeping up with everything. Let me pull
You're
up
good.
the
There's a lot.
data.
It's
Yeah.
don't even worry about it.
Like the second I'm like, okay, I understand this. Now there's just immediately something else where I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
I understand. Yeah, no, it was like that at first for me too. I'm gonna use the warp stick in Psyker's room real quick.
Thanks, Nearest. Night.
Good night, Nearest. Sleep tight.
Night. Thank you for
Bye.
coming by.
Yes.
Okay. Wielding heavy weapon behind cover. I gain sturdy, so I get an extra plus 10.
That's true.
So that gives me a plus 30 total. And I'm not moving. So I'm gonna fire my ballistic skill. Okay, plus 2. Yep. Okay. 4.4.
Oh, hell
Yay!
yeah.
Yay!
Good stuff.
Okay. Obviously, I'm firing my multi-melta. So, how does this work now that I finally hit something?
So you can go to the inventory sheet or the equipment page, and then your multi-melta will have a little box on it that says damage, and you can click on
Yep.
that little guy.
Oh, I actually get an additional plus 10 from my red dot.
Oh, good to know.
Modification. So
That would be,
that'd be another
5
degree
degrees
of
of success.
Yes. So do
That's
I roll
so good.
damage 5 times?
No, so that is something specific with different weapons with different qualities. Your multi-melta, I believe you can replace the result of a die with 5. That's how it is with weapon skill. I'm not 100% that's how it is with bullets. On single shot weapons.
Okay. So I just roll once then.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. 29 energy damage.
10.
It is also blast 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
13 penetration.
I was gonna say pen 13. Get fucked.
That's significant. So they have no armor for this attack. Yeah, that's gonna be.
Yeah.
And then blast adds 1 for each. What?
Hang on.
Blast actually is anyone within the weapon's blast radius in meters is also hits. Everyone within 1 meter
Right,
of the
but
shot.
the way that blast interacts with horde mechanic.
Oh yeah. That's a great question.
Weapons that inflict explosive damage gain a bonus against hordes and encounters inflicting 1 additional hit. Locations are not used for fighting a horde. Horde has a single armor value. Hordes may be pinned with 1.
So how
A blast weapon that hits a horde hits a number of times equal to its blast value. So a grenade with blast 4 will automatically hit 4 times. So the blast value of 1 means the multi-melta does 1 additional hit, which means 1 additional roll of damage.
Oh, yay. So how does the degrees of success affect my
It affects your ability, how accurately you hit. If it's an automatic weapon, that's usually where you get like the multiple hits. For multi-meltas and other like single shotguns, it's how accurate you hit. So
It doesn't
you're
really
just
add any
really
additional
beating them.
damage.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really do anything for me.
No.
Unfortunate. But
On the other hand, the multi-melta is a goddamn beast.
Yep.
It's your anti-tank gun,
shit.
basically.
Now you get to roll
Nice.
again
Yeah.
because you rolled Righteous Fury. So go ahead and roll
Yes!
another
Yep.
Yes!
Oh my god, you are just... Jesus Christ. Okay. Wow.
Under damage!
Hordes are not gonna do well here.
Shit.
We have 2 horde breakers. That's what it is.
So there's 9. It's at 9 now. It's left at 9.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, her even though she's not in her suit, Ursilia is still pretty chunky. She managed to grab her multi-melta on the way out, and she can actually just carry the fucking thing as a human. She'd set it up on some debris and just start firing into the crowd.
Oh yeah. They are turned to ash as the fusion beam from the melty melta like combines in the center and then blasts out with a violent force, turning just like an entire line of them and then like their nearby neighbors into memories. Very good. That is going to Dietrich, did you go before? Yeah, you go before. It's Daxan that goes after.
Yeah, I'm the last. I rolled on that one. So.
Question. I forgot about this earlier. I don't think it matters. Do you get bonuses for attacking a horde in melee?
I don't believe so.
I don't think it matters either way. But I am going to multi-attack again. First attack hits. I'm going to roll my second attack right now, just so I can roll damage all at once.
Le damage.
Le damage.
So yeah, when you're fighting a horde in melee, a Space Marine inflicts 1 hit for every 2 degrees of success on your weapon skill test.
Oh.
Melee weapons with the power field quality inflict 1 additional hit.
Oh.
And there is a magnitude bonus to your attack that seems to be applied on all the attacks.
Oh my.
So in that case, I just got 4 degrees of success on both of those attacks. So
Nice.
that would be 8 attack. That would be 8 hits, right?
You're counting your power sword on one of those, right?
I'm using my chainsword.
Oh, you're just using a chainsword and only a chainsword? Okay.
Yeah. So that would be 8 hits total, right?
Yeah, 8.
Cool. So I have to roll damage twice for all of these.
Easy.
First attack? No. First. That's going to be 24 damage. I'll keep track of this. I'll just tell you the relative again.
Beautiful.
We out here.
That's 29. That's Righteous Fury.
That's a righteous fury. That is gonna... that righteous fury is gonna kill the last of them, buddy.
Cool. So I'm already at between those 3 attacks. I'm already at 83. I'm pretty sure that's enough to finish him off.
Yeah, so paint us a picture. How do you slaughter the last of these guys?
This whole time, like, he's been wielding his chainsword, which looks like it's almost the size of a viscerate for reference. It's huge. It's far bigger than any like mortal that could potentially wield it. And he's just been one-handing it the entire time. And he sees like this last little group, like Helicoprion's Bolter Fire and Ursilia's Multi-Melta. They've kind of like created this channel where it's like the last of them are like, okay, they're between me and extreme amounts of firepower. And I literally just drive them into the wall, and it's the last person to go is like just impaled sword and is just impaled onto the wall. And I just chuck them off to the side and maglock it back to my side. I start walking over, just coated in gore, head to toe.
Beautiful. No later than the moment after that last body makes contact. There's a substantial that shakes the ground all around. You can see off in the distance towards that massive structure that I described earlier, houses beginning to collapse and fall in on themselves as one by one they begin coalescing into a ground sinkhole that is opening wider and wider, devouring more and more of the city. With another gravitic thrum, substantial enough to knock all of you onto your asses. Sugan being careful not to land on Sister of Battle, Hercilia.
Please don't crush me.
Off in the distance, we can see that structure beginning to come apart from the front to the back. This green lightning begins arcing up and down the side of it as one after another panels begin to desegment and separate between great arcs of lightning, cackling between the two of them and forming up in the middle this large spiraling, coalescing form of green lambent energy as the tower rises above the city.